record to cloud. Okay, so, and listen, ask as many questions, interrupt me, because I know what that's like. If you wait to the end, oh, well, I forgot the question. I'd rather you ask me the question in the middle of it. So go ahead and break in and say, hey, Michael, you know, if I'm in the middle of something, I don't have a problem with that. I know some people do. I don't. But if I'm going to say it, or I'm going to, let's say I'm going to present it anyway, I might say, okay, just hold off because I'm coming to that. I might do that. So ask as much as you want. You guys interact. You can open up yourself. You can do all the stuff yourself. So let's get to it. And I might have to get some more coffee because I don't know how awake I am. No, I'm just kidding. So let's get right to it. Anybody that rewatches this, there you go, Pepsi. There you go, coffee. I love it. Anybody that rewatches water, there you go. That's okay. Water's fine too. At least you have some. Apparently that's going rapidly in the stores. Anybody that's rewatching, you can ask questions in all the familiar places. Most, you know, everybody knows I'm on Hangouts a lot, so you can always ask in that forum or on the website too. Speaking of the website, let's start off with that. I'm going to go right into talking about something that I just told you that I added. I'm going to make this full screen so you guys can see. All right, so I know it's a little late, but I went a little green with the St. Patty's Day, but the normal front page of the website, and you guys can see that, I hope, right?
Yeah.
Just making sure. Okay. This is the normal front page, but I've added at the very top in the menu, you have a new one. It's called Zoom page. And I'm going to do this with the different things. This is a Zoom page. It's strictly Zoom. What it is, I did a complete video on the settings. It tells you right here, if you press Control F while on this page, and I think it's Command F on a Mac, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay. It's not complete and is under construction, and that's because what I've done is every single setting I've gone through, and I tried to use as many words so you can search. So for example, if I'm up here and I want to go in quickly, I don't want to use the search, okay? I want to use Control F, and when that comes up, I can go right to and start typing taskbar. And you can see, even though I'm in the middle of the word, it takes me right to this one, and you might find immediately the thing that you want to fix on your settings. And when you click on that link, it'll take you into this video at that point. Some people want to just kind of find, hey, I just need this. I don't want to watch this whole video, but I want to get to the point where they're talking about this. Okay, so that's why I did that. And then, the thing I like about Control F is, like, for example, if I'm way up here and let's say this list is all the way down the page. Like I said, it's not complete. I'm trying to use words that, like if I just clipboard, I just start CLI. See, it already starts with click, and clipboard, it highlights right on the page. You can kind of see and it immediately takes you there. I'm trying to put as many other words too. So for example, I've heard people use the term lower third, banner. They've called that a banner. They've called that a lower third. They call that an image on screen. There's all kinds. I'm trying to include every word that you would come in here thinking, okay, how do I add this? How do I do this? I'm trying to use as many words. So just have words on there, but a link to take you to what we think you're talking about. So I'm trying to add that. What is that? Can't even see that. You can talk.
Yeah, it's Chiron. That's what the crawl across the lower third was.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Broadcasting industry.
Okay, great. Yeah. Hey, Scott Scowcroft, how are you, sir?
I am well, thank you. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Scott.
Hi there.
So on that site, like I said, I'm trying to make this, and it's a separate tab. You just go straight there. If you have a Zoom question, eventually what I want to do is have videos with text below it. So you can just click on and go right to that. I'm going to show it one more time. Go back. So like I said, here's the Tinkering Tech homepage. Boom, you go to Zoom page right there. You click on Zoom. This will tell you, eventually it'll have all kinds of text talking about this particular video that I did. I'm going to try and do a couple of those, so that way you can just come in, boom, quickly get your answer to whatever you want. Try and make it as helpful as possible to go right to. And every one of these will be clickable links, just to reiterate again. So be on the lookout for that. Keep looking at that. If you have questions about Zoom, hopefully some of those get answered. And I'm going just through basically the settings that they have, but just to kind of explain and tell you what those settings do. Okay, that being said, so that's talking about the community. Now, I'm going to go to, there's different services, okay? There's StreamYard to stream out. Zoom actually lets you stream out now. Zoom allows you to stream out to YouTube. It also allows you to stream out to Facebook Workplace, and it actually gives you a chance with RTMP. So in essence, you can send out a live stream of Zoom to really anywhere that'll take RTMP. So that being said, you can actually push out to Restream, and Restream will allow you to do Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, all at the same time on the free account. So you could, in essence, from Zoom, send out to all of those places at one time. It's really kind of cool. All right, so let me do a screen share. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and go to, no, I'm going to do screen share because I want you to see the back end of it. So, all right. One thing that I'm going to show, can you guys see the OBS on screen?
Yes.
I'll just, okay,
Yes.
Good. This is usually, I'll show you the size and setup that I usually do, like when I do the game show. I have this off to the side, because I have a lot of other stuff going on the left-hand side that I use all the time. Let me open up my Epic Pen so that way I can draw on screen. So yeah, all of this area over here, can you guys see the arrows when I put them up?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So that way you can kind of see what's going on when I'm doing this. So this is how I usually run it, okay? But if I have an issue or something comes up, I want a standby screen, but I want to work on something in the background. This has happened to me a couple of times where I'm sitting there in front of everybody, switching out scenes and doing all that stuff, and everybody sees it. So what you can do is you can leave the scene that you have on, or have a standby scene that you can pull up while you're working on another scene, which I love, and that's by going to studio mode. By going to studio mode, I have the program running on the right-hand side. So over here, I have that running. This is what's being sent out. But I also have preview mode that I can do some edits. So when I go in and change scene, let's go back over to the coffee one that I had originally. Okay. Now keep in mind, on this one, the animated files and stuff like that, you're not going to see. So this is a lot more difficult to work on. Like, remember, those of you that came in earlier, you saw the coffee scene, and it doesn't look like it's there. This is one downfall I see with OBS, that it's not very helpful. But you can also see that when I click on these, like if I click on the coffee one, I'm going to lock the starting text. Okay, so I lock that. So now this coffee one is the one I'm working on. I can change that coffee image back there, even though I can't see it. I know that that image is the one being changed. If I lock the coffee and the text, now I can just edit the text and that kind of stuff. Those are quick tips whenever you're editing or working on something. Always lock stuff down. But I'm going to transition over to that. Once I have it set up, you'll see. And I transition over, you're going to see how it came in. So now it comes in, and what it did is it pushed me over to the left and previewed the scene that was there before. And then it puts the one that's live. This is, again, this one is the one that's live. And then this one over here, this one is the one that is in preview now. So if I needed to fix the scene or do something to the scene, I could be editing and changing it and doing all that while that's going on. I can transition real quickly back. Boom, and it should push the other one over. There's the starting. Yep, there we go. Okay. And then, but like I said, it takes up a lot of real estate to do this. If I had this like this during my game show, I could barely see what's going on there. So that's why I take it out of studio mode. But you can see it's a toggle. It comes off and on. It's very quick, easy, boom. I have to fix something. I have to do something. So I'm going to show you real quickly what I did and how to design. I did a standby page. I do a standby page. So I'm going to create that real quick. I'm going to create a new one. And on OBS, down at the bottom, I just hit a plus sign to add a new scene. I'm going to create one called, oh, I have to type. Oh my gosh, it's not going to work. I know, because I can't type worth the darn. See, look at there. I already added extra letters. That's just me though. All right, so we have standby. So standby is there. I hit OK. Trust me, folks, I don't type well. All right, here we go. So now here's how I'm going to build that scene. First of all, I need an image for the background. So let me go get an image. I'm going to call this circuit. Okay, so oops, again, here we go with that typing stuff. All right, I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to go and get circuit, and let's see. I think this is the, I want the JPEG. There we go. So there it is. I got the background circuit. I'm gonna hit OK. Now what I want to do with this, I'm going to right click on this image and I'm going to transform and I'm going to stretch to screen. Immediately, boom, fits the whole screen. I know I'm going kind of quick, but you'll have this video to go back. You can start and stop and do all that kind of stuff if you need to. So this is the circuit. Now I want a media source because I want something that's animated. So I'm going to get the repair guy. Okay, I'm going to get the little repair guy. And we're going to go get him. Where is he? He is right here. Repair guy animated. Boom. And you notice, you see a red dot. I don't know if you can see that, but up in the top, you see a red dot there. Right now, that's all that's showing is the image. It's kind of silly. But it's, again, it's one of the things that I've sent feedback on too. And then I'm going to hit OK. When I hit OK, now he comes in. Okay. And boom, it's gone. You're like, oh my gosh, I had him there. Where did he go? Why is he gone? Because this is an animated GIF. It's only like 2 seconds or 3 seconds long. It's not going to keep going because that's what it is. So I have to right click, go into properties of the repair guy. And then I want to loop it. I want to loop so it always stays on. It's always going. I hit OK. Now he won't go away because he's looping and he keeps him on screen. This is a trick that I learned. I was so frustrated. Just to tell you, I was so frustrated with this. I was like, oh my God, I know I put it on there. Where the heck did the image go? This is a way to check that. And I usually place this and have some fun with it. Put it right on top of something that's being used or something that's on screen. So it looks like this little guy's here and I'm getting ready to do a repair, right? Now, one thing that I want to add, this is another thing that you can, this is the layering and ability to be able to do this stuff. Some of this is, you guys know how to do it. I'm just hoping that maybe you guys can get a little bit out of this and see kind of what I'm building, how I build a scene and stuff. Media source, this one's going to be smoke, okay? I'm going to add some smoke. So what I want to do, I want to go to animated green screen smoke, okay? So again, it doesn't show up, but as soon as I hit OK, it's on there. Okay, it's going. That's great. That's awesome. And then I have it right here. I can put it about right there because I'm going to green screen that out. Oh, it's gone. Why did it go? Does anybody remember why it's gone? I didn't loop, right? Y'all can talk. Y'all can talk. This doesn't need to be all about me. I'm just showing you stuff, okay? So properties, loop. Remember to loop. So I'm going to loop that. So now I want to get rid of the green screen. So last time I right-clicked to change the properties and stuff and anything that I'm going to do, I do that. I'm going to actually do it this time from right here. I can right-click on the smoke one down here and get to the same menu, just so you know that you can edit from the image itself or from the area here. So I'm going to add a filter to this. Okay, not properties, but filters this time. I'm going to go to filter. I'm going to hit plus, chroma key, because I'm taking out the green. Just hit OK. You can name that if you want to, but I never do. And hit close. And now you can kind of see a little bit of smoke, and I can make that smoke. Now, remember what I said about locking? I want to lock the guy. I want to lock the circuit. When you start having a whole bunch of things next to each other, when you go to select, you can edit this. It's hard. See, I can't even, barely got that smoke. It's important to lock the things you don't want to work with. So if I want to just get the smoke, then I lock the other two things. I can make that smoke a little bit bigger, and boom, you can kind of see that. You can actually add a second. Let's say I have another part of the board I want to add some smoke to. I can add the same thing. Now, when I go back to that media source, again, I don't have to create smoke 2 or anything like that. I already have one that says smoke. I'm just adding it again. So what I do is I hit smoke. I had add existing, add smoke, hit OK. Now I can put over here, let's say I can say on this part of the circuit board's on fire. I can just kind of go like that, resize it, and you see how some of it's off screen, some of it's not. I can just make that like that. And that's how you, in OBS, I'm doing this fairly quickly. And then you can always use this as your standby screen. I can record this. OBS gives you opportunity not only to start streaming, but I can start recording. So I could actually record this and have this as an MP4 file that I can bring in as a media source. I could do that too. Once I saved it, I could go into add media source, and then this could be my whole scene. Everything could be my standby scene that I bring in, and then I just bring that in as an item. So that's an idea too for some of you.
Now, if you record this with OBS, it creates a different type of file that some editors need to remux before it doesn't come out as an MP4 directly.
Yeah, I think it might be FLV or something like that. But I believe with the latest version, and I could be wrong on this, let me just make sure, but I'll have to go do some research. I believe there's a setting that you can set what your recordings record as. I think. I could be wrong on that.
It's an MKV file.
Okay. MKV. All right.
And it'll work fine in a lot of editors. You don't have to change it. But if you want an MP4 file, you do still have to remux it. And that's just setting up on the file menu.
Great.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. That's awesome. That's what I'm saying. This is great stuff. I love this kind of stuff. All right. So now I want to add that text that I have. Okay. So I'm going to go down here to text. This is going to be the standby text. I have starting text from the other one, but now when I did the coffee. So stand by. We are fixing thing, or in the South we say fixing things. There we go. And then I add a lot of spaces, and I'll show you why I do that. I just add a whole bunch of spaces because remember, this is scrolling. You don't want the letters to be on top of each other. Okay. So then when I hit OK, and you see how small this is, I can grab a corner and just make that a lot bigger. Okay. But it's not really scrolling, is it? Nope. But I want this to be the full page at the bottom. Okay. I want that to be like that to where it goes off the screen and on the screen. So I have everything on and off. So now what I have to do, I have to go to filters and then scroll. Once I have scroll, boom, then I just change the speed however fast I want. I can make it really fast. And this is horizontal. I can actually make it like a movie too. You can also, you can make it up and down like a movie or whatever too. So I wish they had, I don't think you can just set it to like a default button or something. So, but I just typed in the number. Oh, okay. I clicked the line and it went back to default. So that's good. So I'm going to have this scrolling about, probably that fast. I think that you can kind of see it in the background there where it's coming through and showing, but there you go. There you go. So now there's a whole standby scene that I just created that quickly for you to see. So that way, if I'm in the middle of this scene, or not Zoom, but I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of this scene and I need to edit something because something's not right on here, I can go into studio mode, hit my standby, throw that on live, and now I can go work on that other scene because it's going to throw it here to the left. Oh, I forgot to put my background, or oh, I forgot to put my logo, or oh, I forgot this. Let me do this real quick. You can do that quickly, sort of, if you know where to go. That's why I'm showing you this, and edit that and make that happen. So you saw me build a scene. a standby scene just for you to use. Once you fixed it, you come back in, transition right back. Now I can go back into studio mode and boom, there I go. And I would just make my screen that small. This is the way I work. These things down at the bottom, the scenes, sources, transitions, the audio mixer, all this stuff can be moved around. You can drag it. It's a setting in OBS, but you can change and move those all around to the different things. So you can do that. All right, let's see. Anybody have any questions on that while I'm going over that kind of stuff, or anything right now with OBS that I'm talking about that you might have a question? Like I said, this is for you guys. I know how to do all this, but I'm glad to.
I
go
just
ahead.
checked something out, Michael. You can save them as MP4s directly. It's a setting in OBS. However, if you have multiple tracks, the M4 MKV will separate out those tracks. The MP4 is typically going to be a lower resolution, but it's still good. It's still very good. I just
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought with the latest version of OBS that I know was like in 2000, I want to say summer of 2019, they added that feature because so many people were requesting that. So yeah.
Right. But you have to make sure that your recording quality is not the same as the stream. If your recording quality is the same as the stream,
right,
you can't pause them or something like that. A lot to it.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. For sure. I'm going to, now I'm going to show you guys. That's OBS. The thing that I love about OBS over other things, and I'm going to show a screen share again, is that I know, Eileen, you're on Mac and you use Ecamm. That's what and you really didn't want to learn more software. I 100% get that. It's all in what you want to use. I know some people use XSplit. I know there's other ones too, but I know there's a lot there in different things. One thing that I really love is in the tools is the virtual camera. All of them that to me, that's what's important is the virtual camera, because then you can push it out to StreamYard. Then you can push it out to Zoom. You can use that as your camera. So anything you're doing in these scenes comes out in those other tools for streaming. Okay. You can stream using OBS. One of the things you could do, and this is a community thing just to let you know, you could, in essence, one of the reasons that I use StreamYard is because engagement's important to me. That's how I found it. It was Doug Wooten or something like that from Australia. I asked him, I said, how are you he uses Ecamm, and he was bringing comments up on screen. I said, how are you doing that? I want to know, is there software? And he gave StreamYard as a choice to me a long time ago when they first started, actually. I think they started in October or November, and I got in on December. And because I wanted something to bring the comments up on screen. We used to do it in Google Plus with Hangouts and stuff, and I felt like that was so important. People don't necessarily want to come on screen, but they love to have their name up there. You know what I'm saying? And be recognized. And I recognize that because I know that feeling too. So that's why I got StreamYard. So in essence, you could get the free version of StreamYard. Okay. Free version of StreamYard just to pull comments up. You could use the free version of Restream. Okay. Now you have to have, so for StreamYard, you have to have a paid version to use Restream. So you would have to have a paid, I'm sorry. So you could get the paid version. So you only have to have one paid version. It's kind of where I'm going. If you're doing 30-minute shows and stuff like that, you could have the free version of Zoom because you know you won't go past the 40, all that kind of stuff. So you could have free Zoom, free Restream, paid for StreamYard, which is $15 to use Restream. Boom, you could use Restream that's free, which you could stream to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope. I do it all the time. Just for the paid for version of StreamYard, which is kind of cool, kind of convenient. So you could do that. So that's really the only thing you're paying for. Then you have Restream that you use, because you can get a free account of that using those things. But if you wanted to go to 2 Facebooks or something like that, then you have to pay. Or if you wanted to go to, if you use multiple of like 2 YouTube channels, then you would have to pay and that kind of stuff. So those are the things like that you could do. Then you could have free Zoom, like I said, bringing everybody in like we're doing right here. I could bring this on screen. I can take that Zoom. Now, one thing that they changed, it happened with a Windows update or a Zoom update, and I'm going to show you this because I think it's really important that you know that you can't do this now. Jim, do you pull the Zoom in live ever? I'm just curious, like the Zoom meeting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What's that?
Something like this in there, where I can have you.
Right. Okay. Exactly. So, all right, I'm going to screen share. So let me show you this. So I have, this is a scene, and what happened when they did an update in Windows or Zoom, I don't know which, you used to be able to do the Zoom window. You can see I'm showing right now the Zoom window. It's just a white screen. And the problem is that it's a window capture. Okay. So this window capture doesn't work anymore. It used to. It does not work anymore for a window capture. You have to do, this is where it's a benefit having multiple displays. For whatever reason, it's either all white or it's all black, but it just won't show up. So what you have to do is hit plus, display capture, and since I have 5 of them, I'm going to say top right, so that way I can identify which one it is. Hit OK, and then I'm going to pick the correct one. I can't remember which. You can see I have 5 of them, so I'm going to wait till it finds the correct one. I think it's actually, I don't know. We'll just go through them till I find it. 3, display 4, and you can see it takes some time to find it and get it. Might be 4. Yep, 4. So now I have the Zoom meeting in here. I can crop this. In OBS, to crop, you do Alt and then hold down a corner. So I can crop, boom, boom, just the Zoom area. That's all I want is the Zoom meeting, just you guys' video. And then I can bring that out and expand it. Boom, there it is, and fit everybody in there. So now everybody's in there. So all of that is how you can do that. That's the only way to do it anymore. You cannot do a window capture of Zoom. So if I were to turn this off, there's the Zoom window, and here's the top right display capture. So that's the difference in the two. And I wanted to share that with all of you. I have been on, if you're not, I mean, if you use Discord, I know that we have a Discord channel in our community. Not a lot of people use it or know it or even on there. When I sent you your welcome, you have access to a Discord channel, and I'm going to show that real quick because here's the Discord. One thing that I have done and ask a bunch of questions in the OBS, they have an OBS community that's on Discord. It has Mac OS, Windows. I'm telling you, that's where they could not figure it out. I've asked them, I've sent them logs, all this kind of stuff, but it's a great Discord channel. And Tinkering with Tech, like I said, we have our own Discord, not used a lot, but it's really, in my opinion, Discord is like the old G+, because with the exception of getting it out, getting marketing, all that kind of stuff. But it does have a lot of cool features. Again, like in this is pretty awesome too. Like if you wanted to see old workshops, I have all those in there. You can search greatly, Chrome. I can type in Chrome and find things. There's nothing on there on this one, but if I go to like the daily tips that I have on there, and then I type in Chrome, hit enter, boom, it searches my whole Discord channel for any Chrome tip that I ever did. Another cool thing. So Discord's pretty great with stuff like that, but I didn't mean for this to be a Discord thing, but I did want to tell you that OBS community, they answer and respond quite quickly. I mean, you ask it in, like I'm Windows computer, so I can ask in Windows support. So did somebody ask something? I'm sorry. So that's where you can get answers to stuff like that. And like I said, I've sent OBS stuff. Zoom's so busy right now. I've sent some support in there, so you can't even get an answer in Zoom right now. So, and mine's not that demanding because I can do what I need to do. So that's why I don't worry about it too much. So, let's
Michael,
talk about, go ahead, fire away.
May I ask a question just based on your last piece in OBS? And you told me about that before, and I was using it in my last show, and it all fell apart when somebody was sharing a screen. Everything got out of kilter, and of course the live stream only shows a certain portion of the screen share that the person did. So when one of my guests did a screen share, it threw everything completely out. So I'm wondering if you have a suggestion as to how I might set up to accommodate that in the future. Am I making sense?
100% you're making sense, because that happened to me during the live Tinkering with Tech show. I was doing the exact same thing. I did that exact thing that you're talking about. And I was like, oh my God, I can't have this happen, because if you ever watch like my game shows and stuff, I have people in specific positions. I take that Zoom and I zoom into one of those persons and I put them where I want them. So when one of my guests screen shared, all that was wonky and all that kind of stuff. The answer is, and it's tricky, it's hard to do and it's hard to get used to, but the answer is dual monitors. Okay. And I don't know if it'll work on screen share, but I'm going to try and show you the screen where I have dual monitors, and hopefully it'll show it. So, okay. I don't know if you can see this, but can you see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So for example, if Jim were to screen share, or anybody in here were to screen share, their screen share would show up on this side. Okay, so it would be over here. That's where the screen share is. Okay, and the zoom never changes. I locked that zoom into position, so that never changes. This zoom, everybody stays in their original positions, but because I use dual monitors, this screen share, whoever's screening that screen share will show up there. That's how that works, and that's how it distinguishes between the two. I hope that kind of makes sense and understand. And let me show you real quickly where in your desktop right here in Zoom. Can you guys see that with the orange and blue menu? Yeah. When you hit settings, you want to make sure that use dual monitors is set. Okay. And it changes. I'm going to tell you what, it changes your recordings, because when you use dual monitors, okay. So when you use dual monitors, your recordings have a film strip that you cannot get rid of, and it blocks stuff on your right-hand side. Yeah. So anytime you want to do a screen share, make sure that it's shifted off to the left, because when you go back to get the recording, you're going to have all of that blocked by your film. You're learning. Hey, listen, you guys are getting some major tips right now. And I've gone through the headaches and learned all this. It's very frustrating. And I've talked to them about that. And they were just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. And Chris says they're way to prevent people from screen sharing and all. But like in Lowell Ann's show, they want to screen share. They want to be able to show the stuff that's going on. And that's part of their show is, hey, I have this. I want to show you this. Can I bring this up? And, you know, you're demoing stuff like that. So, and I understand that. But I went through the same thing, because when I had guests on, I wanted them to share their PowerPoint, or I wanted them to bring that on screen. And I was just like, that first show, I was like, oh my God, where's my standby screen? Because it makes it all wonky. So hopefully that makes sense to you, Loan.
Yes, it does. And I tried that. But what I discovered was the second monitor, it shows up a full screen, and I was not able to shut it down or move it or do anything with it. And that became an issue because I've got, I have 2 monitors and I've got a lot of things open and I need a place to put it all. And if the dual monitor opens up in such a way that I can't access anything else, then it becomes an issue.
And that makes sense. I 100% agree and understand what you're saying. The only answer that I can give you there, and you're probably not going to want to hear this, but is another monitor. I mean, I know. I'm just saying though, I have 5 monitors. I know. So I'm able to do that. When I do the game show, I have isolated 1 complete screen just for that, and then any screen share I have in another monitor in a section, because you can do just a section of your monitor. So I can blank out. So maybe see if this helps you with your situation. It might not, but just see if it does. I'm going to screen share my OBS one more time. I'm going to go up to my top right monitor. Okay, you guys. Actually, that's the screen. Okay, so I have the Zoom. You guys probably seeing this. If I move this around, you see that's the Zoom up there, right? And then the screen share is the part where you're on, Lolan. So actually, somebody screen share. I don't care who it is. If you have an opportunity to screen share in Zoom, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't let you. It says somebody else is already screen sharing.
1 participant. Okay, let me do this.
You cannot start screen share while the other participant is sharing.
Okay, so if you do right now, screen share. Okay, so Chris is screen sharing. It's in her screen is separate. It's over there by itself on the side. She's sharing right now. She's sharing my email that I sent out or something like that. So I'm going to take a screenshot so that way, since I can't share and she can't share, I'm going to go ahead, because I didn't set it up for multiple sharing. I'm going to take a screenshot of what I see so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, just so you know, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to take this screenshot. This is in my OBS too, so I'm going to take that. Boom. And you guys are going to be able to see live what I'm doing. Okay, so you can stop screen sharing now. Let me go back to, all right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I was seeing so you can kind of get an idea. All right, I'm going to hide this. I'm going to bring this over here just so I can show you. Okay, so now I'm going to screen share this. Okay, do you guys see that? Do you see that I have right here? This is what I screen captured. Okay, this top right or whatever. That is my top right screen.
We're just seeing the Zoom.
Okay, so you're not seeing the Zoom and the attachment?
No.
You don't see the OB. Okay, hold on a second. Let me do this then. All right, let me go. I know what I'll do. How about this? I got too much stuff, don't I? Okay, there we go. Now you should see. Okay, so what happened here, what we have here is, let me go back to this. Okay, so now this is what I screenshot just so you guys can see. Okay, I'm going to turn this off. There we go. Okay, so this is my Zoom capture. Okay, so I want to show you right now, this is the capture and this is the Zoom meeting. I have them on the same page, the same monitor. Okay, so in essence, I could actually, if I wanted to, I could shrink that. Oops, here, hold on. Let me go here. Okay, I could shrink this down, move that and make this side, this left side, I can make this as small as I want. Okay, because all I'm doing is just capturing what's in the middle. This is the part I want. I don't need all that black space. So I could actually have something that I'm using down here, and this drawing would be moved up. So that square is up there. So I could have my Zoom, my share, and something else all on the same screen. Because all I want to do now, what I want to do when I have it like this, let's say this is what I have. I can actually crop this image since I have the top right. Okay, so I have the top right. This is what I screen captured. Okay, this would be what you have on screen, but I just screen captured because of I'm screen sharing with you. That's the reason I'm doing this. I want to make that very clear. But I can actually, by holding down the Alt key, if I hold down the Alt key on one of these corners, you see how it's cropping? If I were to just move that, let's say I move that. That moves the whole screen. I don't want to move the whole screen. I want to crop. So I hold down the Alt key while holding this angle down here, and I just want the screen share part. This is all I want is the screen share part. So that way, whoever screen shares or whatever, I just want that to show up. Now you can see it degrades in quality for sure, the smaller you get. That's why I said use another monitor. That's the best solution. Because you're not, and this is also just an image, it's not really the video or whatever, but I can make that whatever I want. So now this could be the screen share set as one. So let me get another one at top right. I can go in here again. I can get display capture. I'm going to choose top right again. Okay. And that exact same thing comes up again, but this time I want to crop it to the Zoom. Okay. So now I want the Zoom part of it. Or let's just say I want whoever's image. Let's say I just want one person. Let's say I wanted me on screen with whatever I'm doing. Let's say I just wanted that. So now I can take that, make that a little bit bigger. So now my video's on screen while I'm demoing. Because I just crop that Zoom to whatever I want, and I crop the screen share to whatever I want. That's the kind of stuff that you can do. You might want to rename these possibly just because in order to change one, you might want to need a name that you can reference and get, like I said, when you're locking stuff and moving stuff. But if I wanted everybody in the Zoom to be able to talk, I could just bring back all of you guys. So this is what I do for the game show. I isolate each 6 individual blocks as its own person. As its own person, and I can put them wherever I want. This is, if you remember, this is exactly the same. These two top rights, this top right and this top right are from the same monitor, only I isolated what I wanted to show in those individual things. Hopefully that's clear and that people understand what I'm talking about on that one.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in too and say,
please.
In eCam, it's the same way. The only way when someone is sharing from a second monitor, even though I don't have that set up, but I see this question all the time, Lowland, so don't think it's just you. That monitor has to be dedicated to that thing. You can't have, okay, I want to have some other little application running on that monitor too. No, it just won't work.
That's great. I mean, and good to know that. I mean, that's fantastic. And like I said, you can do it. You can have 5 things on screen, but here's my thing. Okay. So for example, when I do the game show, the reason I want those 6 people in their spots at all time, matter of fact, if you've ever been in a Zoom meeting, I'm going to right now, this is one of the things when you're in a game show, I tell you, do not mute your camera. If you need to, put something on top because it's important to me where you are because I'm pulling you into the game show. So I say don't mute, do not mute your camera, okay? So because if I mute my camera, it moves me to a different spot.
Yeah.
It moves me to a different spot. In the game show, I can't have that because I'm going with personal. Yeah, exactly. So you guys are moving all around whenever you do that. So that's an important thing. And I've asked Zoom, again, you know me with feedback. I asked Zoom if they could stop that. I want to be able to have that where it stays in that spot, especially for me, the host or whatever. I want to be able to keep that and have that in the same spot because of what I'm doing.
It would be even better if you could position them where you want them. And
That would be better. That would be better for sure. But if you look at, I'm going to show, I'm going to show you the inside of a game show real quick, just so you guys can see this. This is what I do on Fridays when I'm doing my game show. These are all the different scenes, and you can see each individual person. Person 1 would be the top left. Person 2 is the top middle. And 3 is the top right. 4 is bottom left. 5 is middle bottom. And 6 is bottom right. And I individualize each one of those Zoom windows or display capture that one section. So if somebody moves, I go to standby real quick. And then fix those people, put them in the right spot. And so when team 1 comes up, if you notice here, when team 1, and that's not going to work right now because we don't have anything over there, and I have more than 6 people in here. So even if I let me go back, I'll put this over here. See, it's not going to be right. But if I had the 2 individuals, if you look right here, I have person 1 and person 2. I can switch that. I can turn off person 2 and put person 4 over there. Or person 5. I can put whoever I want, and those move to sections of that Zoom screen based on the 6 people. So I can immediately, oh gosh, so-and-so went out, like Andrew went out by accident or his internet went down, I can immediately push him back to, okay, and now I need 3 in that spot, and boom, when I go over to team 3, I can do this, and I can switch back and forth. I put a lot of work into this, a lot of work, so... and I'm doing all that while keeping score and talking and giving you the guys clues and stuff and putting all that on screen. So there's a lot going on in that game show, but I've set a lot of that up ahead of time to where I don't have to worry about that stuff. If I want to put that individual, let's say like on your show, Lolan, let me just take it for example, if Jay's on there talking and I wanted to individualize Jay depending on where he is, I would have all those positions, but you have to know how many people are coming in. Sometimes you have 7, sometimes you have 5, sometimes you have 4. In the game show, I know exactly how many contestants I have. So it's easier for me. And it's funny because when I do Hollywood Squares, that's 9 squares. If somebody drops out and comes back, you just lost the middle square. I'm not moving you. I'm not moving you around. You're wherever you are. So.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah.
Didn't anybody ever tell you multitasking rots the brain?
Well, then mine's dirty rotten. Then mine is dirty rotten for sure. So anyway, so what I use, the whole reason I use StreamYard, I pay for the full, the full version of StreamYard. I pay for the full thing because I want to help them get better. I use it as if I lose my job, I probably won't do that again, but because of all the stuff that's going on. But I like to give people a chance to build and all that kind of stuff. And I told them that. I said, here, I'm going to pay for the full version. So if I want to, I can stream to 5 different platforms using their service. So I paid them. I went ahead and paid them for the year, got that. But I don't know what I'll do. I like to do that in programs that you love. I finally found something. This is what I love, is that I can put comments on screen. That was the biggest reason, and really the only reason I still use StreamYard. Otherwise, I wouldn't use it. If you couldn't do that, I'd have no reason to hang on to StreamYard because I love the engagement and people want to engage with you. That's the opportunity to do that and see that. So that's why I do it. That's why I use StreamYard. Okay. And StreamYard is so, in my opinion, simple because it's browser based. Okay. It's browser based. I figured out the other day I had a behind the scenes camera when I did it on Instagram. I think I had 17 windows open. 17 windows open when I was doing the live game show on 5 monitors. I have Voice Meter, I have Hangouts message box, I have OBS, I have StreamYard, I have the Zoom, I have the Zoom other window, the side window for the screen share if somebody ever did that. I have all kind, a timer, a score spreadsheet. I have all that stuff done in the background that's going on. So you have to have a powerful system. You have to have a powerful system, a graphics card. I have 32 gigs of RAM that I use. RAM is inside that it can use at any point. I think that helps. All of those things, and wired connection, a wired, not wireless, wired connection that is extremely strong. All this for live streaming is not necessary. StreamYard, I can go right now on my Pixelbook and just start a live stream. That's another reason why I like it. There's consistency there. Like when we do our Tinker with Tech show and it has the image that you see and everything. When I go on my Pixelbook and start a show, or I start from mobile, because I can go to the desktop version on mobile and start a StreamYard from there, as long as it's going through Chrome, that to me is worth it. That's why I use StreamYard for that too, because it's simple. It really is. In my opinion, it's simple. It's like anything. You have to learn whatever you're using or doing. I use OBS because I like to give you that extra. I like to put people where I want to put them. Like on the game show is totally different. I don't use StreamYards. I bring in OBS virtual camera. Okay. So I have the virtual camera that comes in, so I can put what I want on screen. This is real important because I have to bring in the scores and all that other kind of stuff. I don't have that luxury with StreamYard. All I can do is bring a comment on screen. So there's differences in why you would use one and the other. I use Zoom as well. Why do I use Zoom? To me, Zoom gives the best video of multiple people. I've tried Hangouts. I've tried Skype. I've tried different things. I know I said a bad word, Skype. I get it, but just kidding. No, but I've tried a bunch of, I've appear.in. I've tried all kinds to where I could get the multiple people in there. And Zoom, I found, gives me the best video for all those people coming in. And that's why I use that too. And I'm able to do that with a virtual camera. And Eileen, you can correct me, but I think Ecamm would do that exact same thing. And you're welcome to interject because Eileen uses Mac. She's on a Mac all the time and she knows Ecamm. She doesn't want to learn OBS, and I get that. Is that true with Ecamm? And you can interject if you like. She may be stepped away. That's fine. Jim, you use OBS on your show religiously, right? I mean, you pretty much use it.
Yeah, it's all your fault too.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. No problem. And there are other ones out there. There's other things out there too. There's some paid. I like OBS one. It's free. And
it works.
It works. It's not necessarily a resource hog. It is kind of if you have a smaller machine.
I'm sorry. I was in the kitchen. Did you ask me something?
Yeah, on Ecamm on a Mac and that kind of stuff. Very similar, I would say, to OBS. Is that true?
I think. Remember, okay. I never actually used OBS. So I'm seeing a lot of behind the scenes today that I'd never really seen before because I never really cared.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
But it still has the virtual camera. You're still be able to bring things on screen like that. All the same, kind of the same things that I was going through.
Yeah, it was a problem though when Mac updated to what are we now? Catalina. And Google Chrome would not allow the virtual cam. And as you know, StreamYard works best with Chrome. And so I had to use Firefox, which is something that I never, ever, ever use. And then they said, oh, well, Chrome is testing. If you download the Chrome beta, then you can go ahead and use the virtual cam. So I did that. I wish I would have never done that because then it was getting confused with, like you have your password saved. And so the beta was like hogging all of that, and then I didn't have passwords, access. Oh, that was a mess. So I just got rid of it. I was like, I'll just wait because it's in beta. Eventually, they're going to release it, and so I did. And thank gosh. So now it's back. Hopefully, I don't ever have to use Firefox again.
Good answer. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That's a game show in me. Sorry about that. But no.
Yep.
But yeah, listen, ask questions. Yes, Loanne.
Well, this may be changing the subject a little bit, and but I did want to share something that came across my desk this morning, um, uh, um, with some newspaper or magazine that was reporting that with all this additional usage of Zoom, that people are getting hacked and coming in and showing porn, very bad porn. And they reported all kinds of meetings that had to be shut down, et cetera, et cetera. So I thought it might be worth a conversation about how to set up our Zoom to prevent that from happening.
That's a great question. I mean, I think that's definitely worthy of that. I mean, and as I think a lot of that, I also had, I didn't see this particular article probably, but I did see an article similar to that, and Zoom responded immediately to something about that in the news as well. And they, like Andrew, I know, gets the Zoom blog or whatever.
Yeah.
And they addressed that right away and said the biggest thing is to change, you know, people use a permanent link, which is very convenient. You have the same number, you click that same link all the time. Over a period of time, like now probably every 2 weeks, change that permanent link to something else. Just pass it out. You can have like on our website that I do in our community, you can just click Backstage Pass and it takes you there. You don't even have to know the link. You can just click the backstage link and it just takes you. So I can change that number behind the scenes. But if you're trying to get in, so that was their answer to a lot of that is be sure to change that up.
Yeah.
That is a very preventive thing to do. Yes, Jim. You're muted though. You never sounded better. No, go ahead.
There's a setting in there where you can kick people out, and another setting where you can disallow them from coming back in or allow them to come back in if they're booted out. So I think it's very important for somebody running a Zoom meeting to have a chat monitor person that is watching all of this stuff and has co-host capabilities so that they can kick those people out, and the main presenter doesn't have to worry about that part of it. So if it's a big meeting, I think it's important to have a wrangler out there.
Well, what about also making sure that people need a password?
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Especially if you're doing a really large meeting. I belong to a choir here, and we've been doing our choir rehearsals using Zoom. So there's 50 to 60 people in there, but I mean that would be a typical place where these hackers will go in and do what they do.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely, 100%. I think that's great.
Password as well.
Yep, because you can password protect any meeting you want. You can do that. So that's awesome.
And then, as Chris said in the chat there, you can when you're setting up, you can not allow anybody to screen share.
Absolutely.
So of course I sent all this information off to my choir director to make sure that none of this happens. But it started me thinking, my word, I better start looking in the back end here and make sure that
here's this. Let me add just something to that, because you're absolutely right. Here's a couple things, and I learned this the hard way during my live stream on StreamYard the other day. Chris, I believe it was you that asked, how do I invite somebody? And I pulled that link up of that event for 2 seconds, and somebody sent a porn video into I had to immediately ban them. Immediately. I had to react quickly. That's how quick and what they're looking at and that kind of stuff. So that is absolutely 100% not a bad idea with the password end of it. You know what I'm saying? I really think that becomes important. Go ahead, Mike.
But it's also, isn't the code for these meetings just a number? It's just a string, right?
Exactly.
Well, anybody
so be
can
careful.
write a script to just throw up random numbers continually, and eventually it hit one, throw the stuff up. They know it's only going to last a few seconds anyways.
That's where the password works out great. But and also, like when I screen share right now, in the top left, if you see up there, it has the ID number. So while I'm screen sharing this Zoom, that ID number is visible to anyone watching. So those are things like that you have to be really, really careful of. These are all great points. I love it.
Another good reason to crop that out with the alt.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Very much so. Yeah, all of this is good. I mean, this is good. I think if you have the opportunity to prevent some of this, especially like you said, more and more people are using this, and a lot of people are screen sharing. They're showing inside, hey, let me show you this or whatever. I think that becomes important.
Hey, Michael, do you think you could show, I don't know how difficult this would be, for you to show how to turn off that option for attendees to screen share?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. I can show that. It's, let me just talk amongst yourself.
Yeah, well, the one thing about StreamYard is you don't have to worry about that in StreamYard because the guests can screen share, but, well, first of all, if you let somebody in, they're your guest anyway.
That's right.
If they do start screen sharing, you're the one that controls when that screen share gets broadcast. So with StreamYard, it's different.
Yep. So right here, you're on your Zoom webpage. You got your main page, and then down on settings, and there's tons of settings. That's why I did a video on it. But I can go right to I Control F again, and right here, allow hosts and participants to share their screen or content during a meeting. I can just turn that off, and then that becomes they're incapable of doing that. Disable desktop share screen for users right here.
Okay, so your only choices are, because you don't have co-hosts in Zoom either.
Right.
Okay, so
you can. No, you can.
Wait. If you put if I chose host only, then in the meeting when the Zoom meeting is happening, you can pull somebody in, make somebody else a co-host or a replacement host. So that would be one way I could control. I could say host only, and then if somebody wants to give a presentation, I could give that one person co-host status, so they would be able to do it.
Yes, absolutely. Here's my deal, though. Here's my thing. The screen share is not really the issue because, like you said, if someone's in, you want them to be able to screen share. People are coming in with their video. Like you just saw how I used a virtual camera. I don't have to. I mean, I can go right now to my virtual camera, my OBS camera. It shows me here with my background. They could have porn playing in that video. Screen share has nothing to do with that. It's just me coming in with a different camera. So and anybody that screen share, they're not going to spend that time, get in there and then somebody you don't know and then turn on screen share. And that's not what this is all about. What this is about, them coming in, showing you live porn. And if they do, just please send that one to me if you could. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Wait, when that same note, Michael, can't you also disallow anybody from having their camera at all? Like when my daughter does her things, nobody else needs to be on camera.
That's a good point.
But it's a question actually.
I mean that's a good point. And I don't know that the host can not allow a camera. I don't know if that's an option.
Oh, I thought that was an option.
I know that an individual, like a host, I can't unmute you. I'm not allowed to unmute you. I cannot do that. That's like you're right to not be on screen. Right. But I don't think that
can't force me to be on screen.
I don't think that works the other way. Let me try. I mean, because there are plenty of options here. I can stop your video. Okay, so I could do that individually. Like now you can't be seen, but you can turn it right back on. I think. I hope.
I don't know. Wait, do it again.
You're off. You're not on screen, so you can come back in with your camera.
You can't start your video because the host has stopped it.
Oh, awesome.
That's
so
another setting.
You can do it on an individual. Don't mute me now. You already stopped my video. So at least you can do it. Now it says the host has asked you to start
Yeah.
the video, and then I get the option to start my video. Okay.
Awesome. There you go. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you. See, I learned something too. I love this. So that's good.
Good. So you could do it. Oh, thanks, Jim. You can never get too much Eileen.
Jim's just floating around on
do
screen.
it on an individual basis.
Mhm.
So somebody may do it by mistake. They may share, because most of the folks that my daughter, when she does her Zooms, they're just like getting used to this. They used to meet in person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they may turn on their camera by mistake, and then she could
immediately go ahead and turn that on. Oh, I don't want them. I don't. Yeah. And the host. Okay. So think about it this way. And I understand why this is an ability that you can do as a host. If I'm streaming to YouTube, it's my copyright strike. So if somebody's showing something that should not be there, or they're playing music, I should be able to mute their video or whatever, because it's going to my feed. So this makes total sense. If you look at it from that perspective, look, dude, you can't be showing that. I'm getting a copyright strike for that. So boom, I immediately stopped them, and boom, you can't put anything up.
We had to fight to get that in StreamYard, didn't we?
Yeah, I did. Yes.
I know, but I mean, I've been bringing it up for a while.
You and I both.
From the very beginning, I brought it up with Gage, but I didn't harp on it because I was like, well, they're going to, any day now they'll change it. But when you have these folks that do these apps, and StreamYard, don't get me wrong, I love Gage and Darren. They are both incredible, but they were never streamers. They just know how to develop apps. So they had no experience, and I'm glad they decided to start doing their weekly shows so they could get experience and know what it's like to live stream. So, but we, especially, not so much for me with Hangouts, but on Blab, there was always somebody that had to be booted, muted, or whatever. You didn't so much just mute their video, you muted their audio if they had noisy backgrounds, or you just booted them, or
banned them. And
that was a big deal. And for them, they were just like, oh yeah, it's on our to-do list kind of thing. We'll get around to it. No, the host needs to be able to mute and boot and ban people from the get-go.
Yep, I agree, 100%. Good information. This is good stuff. This is great. We're learning all kinds of stuff. This is what this is about. I want to try, especially now since everybody's not really. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
How come you guys just switched positions? What prompted? I mean, everybody's been in the same position this whole show, and now on my screen, Tinkering, Eileen, and Lowell Ann, and Jim are all in different spots.
Video stopped and then started again, and that Zoom just figures out where they want to put them.
So what happens is, okay, so for example, like Jim just moved down, because if I turn my video off, I'm going to move on screen. And now I move to a different spot. Everyone, if you mute and then come back, you're just moving all over the place. This is what I tell people during the game show to not do. I want you to be in that spot. This is what I was talking about. If anybody mutes their video, then it automatically pushes them to the end, because what Zoom wants is video. It's a video service. So they push all the videos to the top. So if every one of us right now mute our video, or all but me, everybody's going to move down. See, everybody's just moving down. They put the videos first. And then if everybody brings their self back, it comes back in the order that you come back.
Now,
so
with that said, I want to tell you, Michael, as a viewer, I never moved.
No, you don't. I'm
always in my same spot that I was, but everybody else is moving around.
If you have, okay, so that's another thing too. So if you have three,
I have
three wide, if you have three or whatever, if you have it that way, you're always in the middle top. You will never change. You're always in the middle top for you.
Okay.
On your video. I learned that also. In the game show, I bring in 6 people. I'm the 7th person because I'm in the Zoom too. I have an option. It's the very last option on the 3 dots, hide myself or hide self view. When I do the game show, I hide myself so only those 6 people are on there. I learned that too. So that way I didn't have that 7th awkward person that I had to go find a spot for. I don't know if you can, as a guest right now, hide yourself view if you click the 3 dots. I don't.
I just did, and I've disappeared, and I don't know how to come back.
Well, to get it back, go to someone else's 3 dots, and then at the bottom you can bring yourself back, I think. So you have to go to someone else's, hit the 3 dots, and you can come back for you. So
the swimming fish are driving me crazy.
I know.
I'm getting
Jim.
scared, Jim.
Lose the fish. No, I'm just kidding.
I want to go swimming.
With sharks. Okay. So
Better than the porn I was going to put up.
Shark, baby, that's all I can see now is baby shark porn. There we go.
Baby shark.
They'll have a song for it anyway. So, no, listen, this is awesome. We'll talk after show. I don't want this to be too long for people rewatching. So I'm going to stop the record, but we can keep talking. I'll stay here as long as you guys want to. Nothing else to do. The honeydew list was finished yesterday. So, I'm going to stop the recording, and I appreciate everybody that did make it to the workshop. Anybody that watches later, please ask your question. Be glad to answer anything. I'm going to finish just to reiterate on the website, because some people weren't here, plus some people watching at different times. I'm going to screen share again on our website, a new button that's there. Okay, so here's the normal. You can see the calendar. Here's the Backstage Pass I was talking about. You can click on that. Just click on that Backstage Pass. But there's a new tab over there, Zoom page, and it's right here. It has a Zoom, every setting for Zoom, not every, but most of them on that splash screen, everyone on the splash screen, and then text down below. You hit Control F or Command F on a Mac, and you can search and find by the word. So you can go Control F, and I can go to let's see, clipboard, I think it was one. There you go. So clipboard, it'll have, if you wanted to find out something about that particular thing, you click on that Zoom, you click on that link, it takes you to that part of that video and where that setting is. So I just wanted to share that with anybody that's watching that wasn't watching before. Anybody, we'll chat afterward. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm going to stop the video recording anyway.